It's the summer of 2020, and you know what that means. Time for another road trip! So I left my home in New Jersey and I went down to Boone, North Carolina, where I picked up this guy, my traveling companion. And together we ventured down into the COVID wastelands, and we came back and lived to tell the tale. Join us on our adventures and see what we did. This is Truck Stop Road Trip 2020. I am your host, JJJinks. Part 3. I will review the stuff that I bought from that Virginia flea market. Opiates. That's a category of drugs, right? Heroin, Hairy Ombre? Hello. So recently I made a video about my trip to this Virginia flea market, and I bought some stuff, so I wanted to show it to you now. This is the World War II mess kit that I picked up for like $12, and it's showing its age, some dings, some scratches, but I thought it was really cool. And I like to watch MRE unboxings and tastings. Who's that guy that does all that stuff? Steve, 1989, MRE. Okay, pretty straightforward. And he always puts his stuff on like legit time period cookware, eatware, or whatever. And so I spotted this and like, I don't know, it just seemed like something cool to buy. So anyway, let's get into it. We have aluminum dishing. I don't know if that's the right word. I really don't know much about this stuff. I just bought it. So there's this tab that kind of slips over the lip here. So you got to kind of lift and push. Ugh. And that releases this very oxidized handle. It says 1944. Let me give you a closer look. US 1944. You see that? And this comes out on a hinge to be your handle for a multi-purpose cooking device. And then this top piece comes off. There we go. And you got a 2-compartment eating dish. And this very, very well used, well loved, basically a frying pan that GIs cooked stuff in back in 1944. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's aluminum. Not too sure about the handle, though. Aluminum doesn't rust like this. This might be an alloy. I doubt it's steel. Otherwise, it would be way more oxidized and rusted than this. So I'm not really sure what this is made out of. I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff. So that's one thing I bought. Now, I also got this aluminum canteen, which is welded together from 2 different pieces. And I watched a couple of videos about historic wartime canteens, and from what I could tell, this appears to be legitimate. USAGMCO, which is Aluminum Goods Manufacturing Company of 1945. And it's got this chain which holds the cap on, like so. Smells a bit musty in there. There were apparently a lot of knockoffs of old canteens and other World War II era things that were made in Japan for a while. And so I saw one of those videos of like how to spot a knockoff, and I think that this one checks all the boxes for being legit. I like the noise that it makes as you move around. You kind of hear that in movies once in a while. I feel like whenever somebody takes a swig from their old canteen, you hear like that whole audio experience. Pretty cool. And the other thing I picked up, the at-home drug test for cocaine. I got this for $4. $1. Now, stereotypes aside, I wasn't too surprised I spotted something like this in Virginia. There's a lot going on the packaging. I haven't opened it yet, and there's still a seal on it, but we need to talk about the packaging. So here's what it says. The first step in the process to detect the following drug of abuse in urine. So right off the bat, it's telling you this is only the first step in a process. But then it goes on to tell you that it has 99.9% accuracy and is just as reliable as the tests used by doctors and hospitals. I'm not aware of drug testing going on in hospitals, but whatever, okay. Then they brag, you get your test results in minutes, not days. So this is all automatically like much more superior than the coronavirus testing. FDA cleared? And what is this generic like clip art logo? This is not the language that is used in the industry. They don't say it's FDA cleared. That's just not the wording that's used. Matter of fact, it's not even an advertising point for things that require clearance, or the actual word that is used is conformance. So this is already kind of smelling funny. For in vitro diagnostic use, not for internal use. How would you use this internally? Like you would eat the test kit? I don't know. Going to the other side, we see that this is made by Pharmatech, which sounds a lot like a, they wanted to be Pharmatech, but that name was already taken by a legit place. And here's what you get in the kit, which includes a transport pouch and a mailing box. And the purchase price includes cost of laboratory testing, if necessary. Well, wait a minute. It just said that it's 99.9% accurate. You get your test results in minutes, but now it's talking about mailing something in? Let's venture to the back for an explanation. So here's a diagram of how you test it. You dip this thing into your pee. An example of a negative result is you get a dark line on the C and a not so dark line on the T. Well, that's definitely negative. An example of a preliminary result is a dark line on the C and not a line at all on the T. Now, I'm just guessing that C stands for control and T stands for test. And it's interesting how they say, oh, no, you're definitely negative, but if you test positive, then it's like, oh, that's just preliminary, because afterwards, you should send this thing in. That's basically what they're going for. What is in this thing? I'll use the old Kershaw barge to slice through this seal here. Oh, before I really get into it, just one more quick thing to mention. It did expire over 10 years ago, so... Okay, we get a pouch that says cocaine. Sweet! The at-home drug test. One test device. Okay, so this is just the device itself. Completely sealed, unopened. What's in it? Okay, we get a strip here. Okay, and it basically is what it told you on the package. You have a strip that says COC result expired. Not sure what that's about. Presumably control and test, and then what the results look like. Maximum urine level. We got a manual, a pee cup, which has a generous number of meters on it. Looks like 10 to 90 milliliters, and a little spout. Oh, what in the world is this? Green equals temp, tan equals -1 degree Fahrenheit. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. And we get a little box to mail it in. And you get a bag. Oh, there's more. Please remove red tag and place on test instruction handbook. Personal identification number, and then you call in for your results. Do they want you to send them your pee? Is that what? I guess it is. This is meter 2. You got 15 and 30 milliliter gradations on this thing. It's hard to see because it's like in with the plastic. Okay, so yeah, this is literally just like, here's your initial result, and then you have to send us your pee to get the rest. Why bother with this kit at all? This test is only the first step in a 2-step process for determining the presence of drugs of abuse. No one is immune to these problems. Cocaine, methamphetamine, ecstasy, opiates. Is this a menu? Oh, this will be fun. Common street names for drugs. Amphetamines and MDA. Speed. Amp. Benny? Chalk? Black beauties? Whoever wrote this had to have been a boomer, right? Cocaine. Big C? I have heard of Big C, but it wasn't a drug. For methamphetamines, we got crystal, meth, ice, and glass. MDMA, we got ecstasy E. Atom? XTC and X. Opiates. I mean, that's a category of drugs, right? Heroin H. Hairy ombre? Horse? Jones? And skag. Oh, PCP. Okay, I've heard of some of these. Angel dust, magic dust. Sherms? Stardust. And then for marijuana, we got pot, weed, herb, bud, MJ, doobie, reefer, grass joint, homegrown, and spliff. Oh, I think I just found the most entertaining page of this whole manual. What the fuck? Hairy ombre? All right, well, it's been a while since I've done some hairy ombre, but I think I should test myself. What do you think, folks? And I'm back with a sample of piss. All right. I didn't even read the manual of how to do this. I think we all know how this works. Well, maybe if you're from Virginia, we all do. Into the piss. While we're waiting, a special note to parents about tampering. Make sure the faucets in the bathroom basin and shower are turned off tightly, and child should be instructed not to turn them on. Place blue coloring into the toilet. This will help to discourage the use of any water sources to dilute the specimen. Interesting. Tape medicine cabinet door closed. Okay. Check the child's clothing to ensure that they do not have access to or anything in their possession that would be used to tamper with the specimen. So it's sort of like a chromatography thing. The pee is like climbing up through the test strip, and I can already see that I got lines forming here. So I think what's supposed to happen is the pee will continue climbing up the device, and since this is very expired, that should eventually turn red. So if this sticker is still good enough. There. And then the rest of the sticker just kind of stays onto this vial, which has the same personal identification number. So I guess when I'm done, I can pour the rest of my pee into this vial and then mail it off to Famatech. in San Diego, California. Well, the results are in, folks. Looks like I got 2 lines, which means I tested negative. So I'm going to send my pee to Famatech just to be sure that I'm not a cokehead. It's still warm. And there it is, everybody. My pee. And there it is, folks. This test kit is indeed expired. I don't know the chemistry behind what's going on in that red dot, but I'm going to send it off anyway. 7 to 10 business days from now, expect an update. When I drove through Virginia, I never expected I'd be doing a pee test.